Well, an early morning coffee at El Social in Canungra. It's actually not raining, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain for a few hours, or maybe not till this afternoon. The forecast says this afternoon. So rather than head back home, I think the trick will be to go to Orielys and see what happens. And if it's pretty clear, maybe even get some lunch up there. It's a good morning for a ride. It's only 35 kilometres from here, but it's a 3,000 foot climb up the mountain. 10 kilometres, pretty easy, running out through a bit of farm country, and then the climb starts for the last 25. Very twisty and very slow going, but a wonderful ride, particularly the rainforest will be looking great after all the rain. See you at the top.
Orielys Rainforest Retreat is located in the scenic rim. It's in the heart of the Lamington National Park, about 2 hours by road from Brisbane and maybe 90 minutes west of the Gold Coast. Access to the mountain resort is via Canungra, and guests began staying up here in about 1926. There used to be a gravel road, the gravel road was opened in 1947, and which really changed the popularity of the site. In 1912, 8 men of the Orielys family each started farming in the McPherson Range. They milked cattle and collected timber, but there wasn't a lot of income in it apparently. In 1915, Lamington National Park was established around their land, and Orielys Rainforest Retreat was founded then in 1926 by the brothers. The initial accommodation was basic, and in the early years access was only via horse and wagon along a very dangerous mountain track known as the Stockyard Creek Track, which the Orielys had cut themselves from Canungra over the Sarabah Range. Guests first travelled via train to Beaudesert and then horse-drawn coach to the Kerry Hotel, where they would stay the night. The next day, they were met with one of the Orielys and a pack of horses for the ride up the mountain. Luggage and supplies were carried by the pack horses. In the 1930s, the family began a company to expand and raise some money, and one of their first purchases was a car to transport guests from the railway station in Beaudesert. It's time to set up a few GoPros and a couple of cameras on the bike for the climb up to the top, so I better get that organised first. The road from Canungra was constructed by Lamington Limited in the mid-1930s. They operated a large sawmill in Canungra and constructed this road to access the valuable strands of hoot pine that were on top of the mountain. Lay's road ended 6 kilometres from Orielys, so the family cut a horse track along the top of the ridge to connect with it. The spot where they met was known as the dump. People, luggage and supplies were dumped there when the service car arrived to complete the journey with the horses. It was the second generation of Orielys who then got the road finished. After 36 years, the Orielys had a road to their front door. This was now 1947. And the gallant horses that had been doing all the hard work could at last have a bit of a spell. It wasn't until 1980, and thanks to a unique form of fundraising from the Beaudesert Shire businesses and locals, that a second access road to Orielys was established. A four-wheel drive track from the Kerry Valley called Duck Creek Road, with sections of the road and key vantage points auctioned off to the highest bidder. The last time I tried to travel the road, it was closed. It's in pretty poor condition, so you could always check it out before you want to try and ride that way if you wish. But anyway, we'll keep on going to the top and stop. I'll have a bit more to say when we get there. As you can see, there are a lot of twisties, a lot of places where you turn back on yourself, or the road does anyway. And also there's a lot of road damage because of the constant rain, a few landslides, a few trees down and so on. It's all been cleared, and luckily today there's not a lot of traffic coming down, or for that matter going up. So it hasn't been a problem at all. It's been really quite good. And to someone's credit, they've come and dragged all of the fallen trees off the road. The ride along the top of the range through the rainforest with all the native trees is certainly something special, and would recommend this to any rider who just likes to get out there in nature and enjoy all the smells of that beautiful fresh air.
that was a great run up the mountain, so let's go and check out the coffee before exploring the skywalk.
Well, let's go and check out the cafe. There's great inside eating areas and also outside eating areas, and lots of souvenirs if you're into that sort of thing. Look, the food here is really quite good, and I am looking forward to checking out that coffee. You can access the treetop walk from here. I won't go obviously to the top of the trees because I don't want to climb the ladder in my boots, my riding boots or my riding gear. However, I'll just take you in for a bit of a quick look as to the way in and what you can expect. There's some beautiful rainforest scenery to be seen along the way, even if you walk on the lower platform that I'm on at the moment. This is a copy of one of 3 new Stinson tri-motor aircraft that were purchased in February 1936 for Airlines of Australia. This particular one was actually caught in a storm after leaving Brisbane and heading for Sydney. It was reported flying around the area and eventually it crashed, unfortunately, in the ranges. And this is where Bernard O'Reilly really became quite a hero. This is a copy of the original aircraft, which was made for an Australian movie which celebrated his bravery in 1981. It is quite an amazing story. You can read this for yourself online about what he actually did. It's well worth the look. He saved some of the people that were on the plane, and unfortunately some of course died in the crash. But I'll leave it to you to Google it and look it up for yourself. I'm heading now down to a lookout on the way back down the mountain, and we'll stop when I get down to the bottom. It looks like there's a lot of other riders who've got the same idea. Luckily, they're going up while I'm coming down. I just hope the rain holds off for the afternoon for them. There are some pretty spectacular views up here. It was certainly well worth the stop. Well, it's time to head home. I certainly enjoyed the ride up here. It wasn't too long, lots to have a look at, and certainly some beautiful scenery. Heading off soon to the Flinders Ranges for a couple of weeks, so that'll be quite a journey. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll catch up soon.